Good morning, chess lovers. It's time to learn about the last piece in our chess set, namely the king, which is the most important piece. Queen is the most powerful, the strongest, but the king is the heart of the game. You win the game by checkmating your opponent king, and you lose by getting yourself checkmated. So, also, the king is the piece that can't be removed from the board. You can't lose it, but it can get checked, checkmated, or stalemated. I'm going to share the screen and show you exactly what I mean by all these ideas. Okay, white king starts on e1, black king starts on e8. It moves one single square at a time. You can't go more than one step any direction. Okay, you can go any direction but one single step at a time. And if by any chance you end up having king versus king, that's a guaranteed draw. You can't win with a king versus king, and you can't lose because you need extra piece material in order to win versus the other person. You might need a rook, you might need two bishops, a bishop or a knight or a queen, or a pawn that becomes a queen, and then you deliver checkmate. Okay, so you go any direction you want, one step at a time, any direction. Okay. Another idea for you guys to remember is never ever the kings will be moving close to one another. That's a move not allowed in chess. It's not permitted, it's illegal. Okay. We can never have the kings approaching one another. Always a step in between them. Another idea, you can't move the king in check. Okay, I'm going to put the white king here on e4. I'm going to get the black rook, f8. So I can't move the white king on the f column because the rook controls it, and that would be placing my king in check. I can't do this. Exactly the same thing would be if I had, let's say, a bishop here on g8. Look at this. The bishop covers diagonally, and I can't move my king in check, unfortunately. I simply can't. It's not allowed. Okay? So wherever you go with the king, you can't move it in check. So keep in mind these ideas. Very important. Can't move in check. And if there is a queen here on the d column, I can't go down to d3 either. I can only go up. I can move up, or I can move down. That's perfectly doable, but you can't move in check. All right. So let's just do a check situation here. Let me get the black king as well. So if it's black's turn, black can deliver very many checks here with the rook, with the queen. Now with the bishop, because the king is on dark square, the bishop goes on white square. So that would be a check. That would be a check. King must move somewhere. Okay. Can't go down on b3 because of the bishop. That's the queen. That's the queen. That's the queen. So he may go to b5. Okay. Now, we might have another check here with the rook. So look at this. You are getting in check. And then at some point, the white king will be checkmated. So whatever you do, you can't move in check. All right. You can't. So that would be a possible move for the white king. And now black delivers checkmate with the queen on a7. Okay, check and mate. So whatever you do, can't move in check. A stalemate though, let me just show you the stalemate very quickly. So let's say I'm having a white king on d8, the black king on c6, and now let's say I'm having a black queen here on h3. Now, black should be able to deliver checkmate in one single move by simply moving the queen over to d7 right in front of the king, and that would be checkmate. If black doesn't pay attention, it happens to at some point to some of my students in the schools now they being incredibly excited by the prospect of winning quickly, and they drop the queen from h3, they put it on e6, and they tell me, hey coach, look, I've won. And I just had to tell them, unfortunately, sadly for them, for the stronger side, no, you haven't won. You've only stalemated the king. The king is not in check. It's their turn, can't move anywhere. There is no other piece to play with. Therefore, white king has been stalemated. Painfully for black in this position, but the king is stalemated. So if you want to avoid the stalemate, you better check or checkmate that king. Okay, so now we've got a checkmate. And there are many other situations where we might have a stalemate. Okay, so just about the king today, guys. The king goes one step any direction. Um, you could castle the king. By the way, we've got a film about the rulings and conditions and exceptions of castling. So you may want to watch that one too. It's incredibly important to castle your king as quickly as you can. As per the king, remember one step any direction, can't move in check, can't get closer to the other king. It can be checkmated, or stalemated. And yeah, I think that would be it. Practice all the pieces. We'll get into the golden rules of the openings next time, and I'll tell you the basic stuff you need to know when you start playing with the full chess set. And I think you have a wonderful journey ahead of you in your chess career. Have an extraordinarily positive, beautiful day.